Are you ready to build your network at lightning speed? Well, mark your calendar for April 16th through the 18th and join us at Connect. You'll experience 3 days of growing, networking, and breaking through your limitations. Look, you'll never be the same. So go to attend-connect.com to learn more.
Sure.
Connect them with Grant, that there's
Right,
no way.
it.
I'm not, no. But then there's people that are like Chaz that are like, dude, can you hook me up with Grant? And I'm like, heck yeah, for somebody like you, yeah, let me figure out how we do this.
I'm your host, Chaz Wilson. I bring you successful entrepreneurs, add valuable wisdom to your journey, and help you succeed. Welcome to Connect, Share, and Prosper.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Connect, Share, Prosper. We're just getting ready for, what episode are we at? 98. Episode 98. So exciting today to just share some cool stuff about what's upcoming, Connect, etc. So as you're hopping on here, and if you can pull up the Facebook feed too, so I can see who's joining us today. It's going to be just an awesome episode in store for you. And I'm going to introduce my guest and also one of our Connect speakers, breakout speakers. So let me read an introduction. Some of you who follow this show might recognize this gentleman. He's been on the show before. But we had such great feedback and so many amazing things. We wanted to have him back on the show. So I want to introduce Ken Walls. Ken is the founder of Client Solutions Innovations, a digital marketing, web development, and social media firm. He helps businesses communicate effectively to grow and prosper in their business. As a child, Ken, this is what I love, by the way, Ken would buy gum and candy at the store and sell it to his classmates for double what he paid so he could buy the things he wanted. Love that. This was his first step into being an entrepreneur and led to a successful sales career right out of high school. He was so successful that soon he was making more money than many and most of his former teachers, and I get that and relate to that as well. His mission is to help other people have a breakthrough and have many breakthroughs like the ones he's experienced, and he's overcome addiction, bad habits, unhealthy relationships, and he firmly believes that anyone can overcome trauma, loss, addiction, a failing business, or any other hardship to find joy, confidence, recovery, and success. The first step is to believe in yourself and to go for it. Welcome to episode 98 of Connect, Share, Prosper. Ken Walls, welcome to the show.
Man, thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, we're so excited. So as you come on and you're here, please, tell us where you're from and where you're watching from. So that being said, the thing is, you and I always have a really good time. I hope that comes through. Sometimes you and I, we have this instant connection. It was pretty amazing when you and I got on the phone the first time. And over time, we've had this ability to talk business, to have fun, sometimes be a little silly. I think that's just how you and I roll, though. Right?
That's how I roll and everything. And I just called you, dude. I literally just got off my show with a huge influencer I interviewed this morning, and I said his name's Zach Benson. He's been on So You Think You Can Dance, and this guy is amazing. Yeah. I said, I just called you, dude. I hope you're okay with that. And he's like, dude, let's roll.
So Ken, here's what's amazing. You just referenced this, where I want to start. You've had your podcast and your show. You've had some of the most amazing guests. Like, I saw you did a Facebook Live on your show recently where you were interviewing Jeffrey Gitomer, who's a sales legend, teacher, like all that. And in the middle of your live stream, Grant Cardone comes in to the middle of your live stream. Now you're live with Jeffrey Gitomer and Grant Cardone.
That was a crazy night.
That's wild.
I was just helping. I was trying to help Jeffrey promote his new book. And Grant came on to congratulate Jeffrey because they're friends, and to talk to me and say hi because we're friends, and it was just it was intense. I'm not gonna lie.
Fun to watch. It was fun to watch. You sort of became the host and instantly became like a bystander.
I felt like Switzerland, man. They were kind of going back and forth at each other there for a minute. It was kind of funny, but I mean, that's who they are. And
how do you get connected to so many people? Obviously master networks were about networking and connecting with others, but there's the theory of learning it. And then there's you just you connect with everybody, man. There's hardly a person you don't know. It feels like.
It sometimes feels that way. Dude, I just honestly, I always try to provide value first to people, especially if I'm interested in being connected. And the other thing is, I genuinely like people. Like I genuinely like, and like I don't like people that don't like to laugh or they take life too serious. Like they're all,
Oh yeah.
all business, and it's like, dude, that's not me, man. Like I'm sorry. Like
Yeah, that's why I said you and I, sometimes we've had some calls. I remember one a couple months ago. It was like nearly up till midnight. We were talking about business stuff, but we were like,
Yeah.
it was fun. We were having a good time. Like
dude, it was after midnight here. You're an hour behind me. It was like 12:30. I'm like, dude, it's like 12:30. I got to go to bed. And
Yeah.
but that's who I just like people, man. I like to help people. I like to, I like to connect other people with other people. I think I
Yeah.
connected you with Ray Higdon, I think.
Oh yeah,
guys
man.
did some stuff.
We've made you've that's what I said. Like, guys, if you're not following Ken, you really need to, because he is a master. What we talk about, he's a master networker. He connects with people so well, and he always does lead with value. It's been amazing, just what he does. So hey, real quick, I want to welcome several people on here. We got Eric Swanson, Terry Lynn. Welcome Victoria from Louisiana. We got some people hopping on here. Usually we do this show on Monday, but because of the holiday, we're doing it on Tuesdays. So I think some people are out of their normal routine of hopping on the call. So love that some people are here. They're probably like, oh shoot, I didn't realize today was the call. Well, it's because it's Tuesday and we normally do this Monday noon Central. So
yeah,
excited. So let me start here. So again, here we are today. You've connected with all these amazing people and these salespeople, and you're going to be one of our speakers at Connect.
yeah.
Which I so appreciate. And I think, first of all, tell people what they can expect to hear from you. Several of the people watching it will be at Connect.
Well, one of the things that I wish I could say, hey, I already have it all figured out. But I'm probably not probably, I'm going to be talking about live streaming and how important it is to learn how to live stream, so you can connect with other people on a much greater level. And one of the basic things that I'll be talking about is like, look, if I want to have a relationship with Chaz Wilson, how do I do that? Well, one way I could do that is to go live and talk about how freaking awesome of a dude he is and tell everybody in the world what he does for a living, and display his books and show people, hey, these are his books, man. Go buy his books and check him out. And then Chaz is going to be like, who's this awesome dude that just did this live stream about me?
Right.
Isn't
that amazing? That, like, the strategy you just shared is very simple, yet nobody thinks about that.
Nope.
It's interesting that I see that on occasion. This just happened recently. I want to welcome Mike Forrest from St. Louis, Tina from New York. Welcome, Tina and Mike. So this happened just recently, actually. There was a private Facebook group, and someone asked the question. They said, what's the best business book you would recommend? And one of our members from North Dakota commented, tagged me, put my book in it, and a link to buy it. And I thought that was really cool, because of course it notified me on Facebook because he tagged me. And I thought that was really cool. And all of a sudden he just went up a level in sort of my proximity list.
Right. There is so, like, Gary Vaynerchuk follows me on Twitter. I've had Mark Cuban retweet me. I've had, I'm friends with Grant Cardone and Jeffrey Gitomer, and I'm not name dropping intentionally.
No, I know you. You're not. I know you. You're not.
I'm saying this because honestly, it blows my mind. And, there's somebody else that's freaking massively huge that
right. We're not sharing yet on this podcast for many reasons, but
I know
you are 100% correct. Like the stratosphere of connection is huge. And but here's the thing, you've come with so much value, as you said it. Yeah. And someone commented on here as well. You always come with so much value that people want to help you and connect you. And that's what happened. You had somebody on your podcast and you brought up a name, and that person's like, oh, I know them. Let me connect you with them right now.
Yeah, that's it. And so when you are, when you're trying to make connections, and look, I've been in sales my entire life. I started, you mentioned it. I started pretty young, but like, I mean, when you want to connect with somebody, like there's too many people out here. I get these messages, I'm sure you do all the time in your Facebook Messenger. You accept a friend request and then bam, they come at you instantly with some, hey, I want to talk to you about this opportunity. It's like, dude, wine me and dine me first. Like, like like that's the society that we live in. People have forgotten about the art of connecting with other human beings and getting to know them and learning about, like,
I remember Vaynerchuk talked about that one time. A guy stood up at a thing and the guy thought he was going to be really cool and pitch him his deal in front of everybody. And Vaynerchuk was like, dude, you were like the 16-year-old kid that tried to close the deal on the first date. He just then blasted him out in front of everybody. He's like, that's not how, he's like, haven't you read my books? Jab, 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 hook. You just threw the hook right away.
That's it, man. Like you gotta add value to people's lives, man. If you add value to someone else's life and there's still a chance that it won't matter. Like there is so much noise. I sent Grant Cardone an email a few days ago and I've gotten no response. And he does have a little thing going on this upcoming weekend. So
this big conference or something.
But and that's okay. I know that I'll get a response eventually. And if I don't, well, then comes the art of follow-up, right? Without being a butthead about it. Like following up is so important. And it's something that people don't do, man. They don't do it.
So how do you balance? This is a really good question of what you just said. So how do you balance? Like I look at, for me in my position that I'm in, I get like, oh my gosh. I mean, I have a team who helps my social media, but I respond to almost everybody that directly messages me. But like my LinkedIn, for example, my inbox is all spam on LinkedIn. For like every once in a while, I get a genuine, hey, I'd love to connect. I visited a master networks, etc. Now I've turned it off. I don't even look at it. I never look at my LinkedIn messages because it's all this spam crap. How do you balance reaching out to somebody, like you said, without spamming them? Like without it, how do you get through the noise?
Sometimes you can't, and you do have to accept that. Sometimes you can't. There is somebody that was, it's huge, that was in the movie The Secret. That, I mean, this person is huge. Right. And I've tried reaching out, no response. And then literally today, the person that I interviewed today said, oh, he's one of my mentors. Like so I'm amazing. Meeting with him for dinner tonight. I said, shut the front door. Are you serious right now? And he's like, yeah, dude, let me see if I can connect you with him. And man, he'd love to be on your show probably.
That's amazing.
I'm like, so, and again, it's not, I have my show. I have a course. I don't know if you want me even mentioning that.
Sure. Absolutely.
But I have a course where I teach people these things, like how to use live streaming and setting up a show and podcast and doing it on live stream and using social media to build your brand and your influence. And good. Look, Chaz, 5 years ago, I was like, I built websites, right? And we still do that. But like, I was just the guy, I dominated Columbus, Ohio, and that was about it. And then I learned how to. I'm getting feedback in my. You're getting feedback?
Hold on, keep going. You keep going.
But then, I get this, this invite. Basically, I won a trip on Grant Cardone's private jet. And instead of taking that trip, I went to his office and hung out with him. And
I've heard this story, but don't go too fast past this because this is a really cool thing. Talk about the contest and how you won that.
So it wasn't a contest. It was he was having a webinar and it was $49 to be on the webinar. And this was before Facebook Live. I was on a Periscope Live. And, now look, 5 years later, I've done over 2,000 live streams. So I've done this a few times. Right. But back then I was still new, Periscope, and I go, hey, Grant Cardone's having this webinar and blah, blah, blah. And it's going to be amazing. And I'll see you guys there. It's on Friday or whatever. And somebody said, I can't afford to be there. And I said, what? It's only $50. And whoever, I don't even remember who it was now, but she said, yeah, I wish I could afford it. I don't have an extra $50, but it would be life-changing. And I said, well, you know what? If you answer this question properly and tag me and tag Grant on Twitter, then I'll buy your ticket. And she did, and I did. And I called Grant's office. I said, hey, I just bought so-and-so a ticket. Here's her email address. How do I get you the money? I sent him the money via PayPal, and bam. And then like the next day I was like, man, that was fun. I think I'm going to do that again.
Oh,
and
so
then I started doing it like, and maybe it was 2 weeks. I don't remember. I started doing it like every day, sometimes multiple times a day, where I'm spending $50 to buy a ticket. I'm running a contest. You have to tag me. You have to tag Grant on Twitter. And then about the 6th or 7th time I did it, Grant finally saw all the tags on Twitter. He's like, what the heck's going on? He gets on my Periscope, and I go from having 40 or 50 people on there. And he's like, Ken, hold on. And I'm like, holy crap, there's Grant Cardone. And he's like, wait a minute, don't put it out yet. Don't give him the answer. And let me share this. And he shared it to his Periscope, and boom, man, I had like 700 people on my Periscope all of a sudden. And so I started doing that. He was jumping on, sharing it every time I did it. I ended up buying 14 tickets total to Grant's webinar. So I spent $700. But let me tell you something, man. It was the best $700 I've ever spent in my life. For sure. Because I won at the end of the webinar. He said, well, we weren't going to do this, but we decided we're going to give away a trip on my jet and blah, blah, blah. And this whole thing. And actually in my training program, I teach exactly every step that I did. And I actually have the video of me winning that, and them announcing it. So, like, that's kind of where I started learning. I do contests on my social media to get new followers. Like, I'll give away $25 Amazon gift cards if you just go subscribe to my YouTube channel. It gives you, so. But people aren't doing that stuff. They think that, I can just hit Chaz up in Messenger on LinkedIn or Facebook and say, Chaz, I have this oil that if you rub it on your elbow, it'll cure everything. And I'd love to show it to you, right? Yep. And you're like, what? I'm not in the market for elbow oil, bro. But
here's the thing that's like fascinating. And I talk about this all the time. When you're trying to get into proximity with people, one of two ways: you can earn your way or buy your way. And what's interesting about the example you used, you really did both. You bought your way in a sense, because you paid, you put money on the line, you invited people in, right? And you tagged him, and you were smart about that. But then when you won, you kind of passed on the trip on the jet and said, I'd rather come down and spend some time with you in proximity, face to face.
Yep. And he bought me lunch. I sat at Grant's desk. He bought me it was a chicken Caesar salad, man. We sat there and ate lunch together at his desk. It was awesome.
That's great. And so when people pay a lot of money for that time to be in front of him,
$100,000.
Yeah. So you had that opportunity, and it cost you, I think you said $700 really, right?
Total. Yeah.
So think about that, guys, listening to what Ken just said. And it doesn't matter whether it's Grant or anyone you're trying to level up and be in their circle and be in proximity with, right? That doesn't matter. Yeah. The point and the principle is still the same. I actually heard, speaking of Grant recently, I heard Coach Michael Burt shared on Facebook in one of his speaking events. I don't know if he realized he was being recorded, but somebody was recording him, but I thought it was genius. He shared how he got on stage at 10X. Oh, really? And yeah, he said, he asked Grant flat out, and it's very similar to your situation, right? He said, Grant, am I ready to be on your stage? And he said, yeah, I mean, I think you're ready. And he said, but we've kind of already got it filled up. And so he said, great, how much are the tickets? And he said, I think the floor seats are like $2,000 a ticket.
Yeah.
He said, I'll buy 50. I'll buy 50 tickets. So $100,000.
100,000.
Yep. And he said, yeah, I think we could work something out. Right. So now he
Right.
gets on stage. Now he invests 100,000. If you think about it, it's so genius.
Yep.
He then goes back and he puts a coaching program together and gives the ticket, but he charged more than $2,000 for the coaching program. So he actually made $250,000 on the 100,000 invested. But it even gets better because now he's on stage in front of all these people, which turns into a ton of business. And guys, I think it's these principles of that, what Ken's doing, of how you get in front of people. Like we've got this event called Connect.
Yeah.
And I think people aren't looking at it going, here's a platform, here's a venue where people are coming from all over the country, that how could I use this opportunity to grow and expand my presence in my business? And they're just not thinking the way you think, man. I think you're genius. I really do. I think you're this mad scientist of networking.
Dude, no, man. I'm I appreciate you saying that. I have a buddy, Frank Cranitti. He's like one of the he's the number 2. He corrected me, number 2 car salesperson on planet Earth. Like the dude sells over 100 cars a month by himself. Like he's amazing. And he said, I mean, he calls me the plug. He's like, dude, you're the plug. He's from Philly. He's like, you're the plug. You're the guy that connects everybody, man. And like, and so, you know, I mean, look, I enjoy helping other people. So if I'm talking to my buddy Chaz Wilson and I say, dude, what are some of your goals for 2020? And you're like, well, I want to do this and this and this. And I say, well, who do you need to know to make those things happen? And you go, I'd need to know this person and this person. And, you know, I actually had somebody reach out to me that's a really good friend of mine and a good friend of Grant Cardone's. And he said, hey, and this was obviously several years ago. He said, I want to be on stage or backstage at a Trump rally when Trump was running for president. And I said, oh, why the heck? Why are you asking me, dude? I hear, well, yeah, I got Trump on speed dial. Hang on. Let me just,
right.
Like, and he's like, cause I figured if anybody could make it happen, you could.
You're the guy.
And so I know some state senators and I know these people and I started making phone calls. I don't know that I had any impact on it, but it did happen for this guy.
Wow, man.
And so, you know, like, again, if you tell me like, these are my goals, my brain, I don't know why it's wired this way, but my brain immediately goes to who can I connect Chaz to that can help him achieve that? And is it going to be ethical? And is, you know, cause there's people that want me to connect them with Grant, that there's no way, like, no, it's not happening. Right. But then there's people that are like Chaz that are like, dude, can you hook me up with Grant? And I'm like, heck yeah, for somebody like you. Yeah. Let me figure out how we do this.
So let's do this live. Let's play this experiment live. Okay.
Okay.
So Ken, who do you need to meet, or what's your goal for 2020? Because not just me, but I've got a whole platform of thousands of members across the country.
Yeah.
That surely somebody might know, or we'll see how this plays out, right? It may happen today, may happen instantly, may happen in a week or two, that somebody from, you know, you'll be at our event called Connect. So, you know, maybe that'll happen. So what's a goal of yours, or who's somebody you want to meet, or what's a connection that you're looking to make? I know I put you really on the spot, but
I mean, I'm pretty good at making connections. You know, Tony Robbins being on my show would be pretty incredible, man, if you could make that happen.
So I may have a connection for that, actually.
That would be awesome.
I've yet to get him on my show, but it'd be awesome if I get him on your show first.
Well, I'll make sure he gets on your show if he comes on mine first. You know, look, man, that's probably something. It's tough for me, man, as I'm the connector, so it's tough for me to, I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I know this. I love my course. I love teaching my course. I love the people that are taking it and they're in my private Facebook community and all of that. And I love seeing the light come on for people, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, like they go from, man, I've been struggling trying to figure out how to make it in life and with social media, and then bam, they're in my course, or they're on a phone call with me or a coaching session, and I just see it happen. And it's like, The aha moment. That's what I love more than anything, man.
Well, what's interesting is you're changing people's future, because I always say you're one relationship away from changing your future. You become a relationship for people that you then put that person in their path for them, which is such an impactful, significant thing that often is so overlooked and underestimated. Everyone's looking for the next marketing tactic, and usually it's a relationship that connects you to something that you're needing to accomplish. And you're just a master at it, and I mean that sincerely. And look, I teach this. The truth of the matter is, I mean, we didn't talk much about your story and how you got where you are, which I love for people to meet you at Connect and kind of learn that. But what I really wanted our listeners to understand is how strong you are in this game of networking. And it's a skill, man. It is a true skill.
It is.
And I think you're one of the best.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you saying that. I love it. I love it. It comes down to, you got to love helping people, man. And if you don't, then
yeah. So I want to tell everyone a fun story about how you and I connected. Who's listening? You guys, this was mind blowing. So we have a member of Master Networks who's here, Kathy Inman, who knows you. You guys had a connection. She says to me, "You need to meet Ken." So Ken and I get on, we start talking, and I'm like, I recognize this guy's voice. Isn't that weird? Like, I don't know if it was when you're like, dude, I'm like, I know that name. I know that voice, which is so weird because you live in the Midwest. I'm in Texas. I'm like, there's no possible way I know Ken Walls. So I actually went into my Gmail and I typed your name. And from like 2 years ago, you were selling a product for a different company. Yeah. And you were the sales guy I talked to. Is that wild or what?
That is
so crazy.
Yeah.
Small world, you guys, like so amazing. And then here Ken and I now are, we're talking about business and stuff now, but just
like
incredible.
I call Chaz on his cell phone at midnight. Hey, what are you doing, man?
Conquering the world. It's great. So listen, what advice would you give somebody today right now who's like, I need to build better relationships? And I maybe I've even identified a top 20 list of people who I want to get into their proximity. I want to be in their circle. What's like one strategic thing they could do today that could help at least put them on a path to getting in their circle?
2 things. Number 1, get my course.
Yeah. How do they get your course?
growlive.online.
growlive.online. Okay.
Yep. Number 2, be at your conference. Definitely. Look, if so many people are like, I want to be in the proximity of power from my mom's basement or
right. No,
like,
yeah,
dude,
you're not
you
that far
have
off
to
sometimes.
show up.
Yeah.
You have to show up. I became friends with Grant Cardone for one reason. It has nothing to do with that webinar. I wanted to be on his radar. I wanted him as a client. So I had custom bottles of wine made up with custom labels of him and Elena and their beautiful kids. And I had my assistant. I put her on an airplane, bought her a hotel room for a couple of nights, sent her to Miami. She waited in his lobby on him and Elena to walk in, and freaking delivered this. And he called me that day and said, dude, this is the classiest thing anybody's ever done for me. I can't believe it.
Genius.
And we became friends. We established a relationship at that moment.
It's a bond, man.
Like, you got to learn how to do this stuff. It's not just, if it doesn't come naturally now, you're not going to wake up in a couple of years from now or a couple of days from now and suddenly like, oh, I'm naturally a connector. You have to learn the skills.
Yeah. So, I mean, think about that, you guys. Think about what Ken has done to get on somebody's radar who has, millions and millions of followers, because he just did what no one else probably is willing to do. Everyone wants that home run shot, because the flip side is true. It's a great story today. There could have been 10 people you delivered bottles of wine to who never called you back.
That's right.
Right. And so you never know, but you do that. I've got it's an interesting thing. We have another speaker from Connect. So if you think about it, we've hired this person to speak at Connect, and yet this person, I don't want to give away who it is. It's not necessarily the point. The point is this person, now again, we've paid this person to come to Connect, right? From air travel and that kind of stuff. And yet this person has sent me gifts This person is sending me stuff going, thank you for the opportunity to be speaking at Connect. Thank you for this. Here's my book. Here's my this. Here, like almost weekly. It's so impressive. So if you think about this, I have a list of speakers who are speaking at the event.
Yeah.
Who's standing out? Like who's that top of mind for me? So how do you cut through the noise? It's very simple things. They're just sending a handwritten card, copy of a book, this little gift, this little thing, this little nameplate, this little title thing. It's so smart.
Yep.
Right. And we're just not taking that kind of time to do that on a daily basis.
People aren't. You gotta invest time, man. You gotta invest time in the relationships with people.
Yeah.
I mean, and you got to invest money. And that's the other thing, and I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday. Like, I have so many people say, hey, Ken, I wanted to pick your brain for a minute. And so I got so tired. And it's not that I don't like to help people. When I deliver a lot of value for free on YouTube, on every day I'm going live delivering value. And it's like if you want my one-on-one time, I charge $900 an hour for that. And if you want, just go to my website. There's a button that says pick my brain.
That's so smart.
Yeah. You can click it and pick my brain. You just have to pay for it. That's all.
So
and
smart.
Then you can pick my brain.
Yeah, it's investing, you guys. Every good entrepreneur does that. They reach in their pocket, they pull out their wallet, they take out their credit card, and they invest. Last night alone, true story. So last night, there's two gentlemen who came by my office. It took me a while to get in their circle and their proximity. The reason why I want to is these gentlemen have done what I'm trying to do. This is where good mentors come in. They've done what I want to do. They're scaling their business to this massive level. One of them sold 2 7-figure businesses, and they're putting on this workshop. So I reached out to them. And then they said, Chaz, I'll tell you what, if you'd like to come, we'll give you a little discount and you can come to the event. Guys, it's a day and a half.
Yeah.
$3,500.
Yeah.
For a day and a half. Now, if I look at that and go, wow, that's a big cost, but what's the upside if they give me 1 or 2 amazing ideas that change the trajectory of my business? And I'd be unwilling to do that for $3,500. Same with Connect, right? $397 ticket for 3 days. My gosh.
How much is it?
$397 for 3 days.
Dude, that's like most people spend more than that on Starbucks a month. Like, that's insane. That's crazy. That's cheap. I know it's
crazy. So, and we're 70, maybe next year we will. Ken Walls says we are doubling Connect prices next year.
Dude, $397 is like,
it is low. I know.
Yeah,
I know. So look, and we're 70% sold out, and people are still struggling. They go, I can't afford it. You can't afford not to be around people like this who are going to teach you. One idea Ken's going to share with you will change. He's helped me tremendously. You guys have no idea. That's why I want to bring him to you again and put him in front of you at Connect, because this guy is a master at networking. He is a master at connecting people. I don't know if I can even think of anyone better who does this every single day. And so he's just a genius. You need to go get his course. growlive.online, correct?
Yeah,
growlive.online.
yeah,
I think several have posted the link here. Go check that out.
Thank you for that, by the way. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we have some great people.
Look, I think, and this isn't me trying to pitch my course. It's $997. If you want it, get it. If you want to change your life, get it. If you don't, then don't get it. For me, I have a lot of people in the course. I have people that are taking it. Plus I do one-on-one coaching, right? And so, and again, my passion in life, I've built websites for 26 years, dude. And I'm like, I can do it. I can do it in my sleep, right? But like, my passion is watching the lights come on for somebody. Just like when you take somebody that has a business they've been struggling in forever, or there's just a lot of ups and downs, and you say, dude, this is all you're missing. Bing, 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 and bing. And they're like, that's
exactly why you and I get along so well.
Yeah.
I really think that's where we're aligned so well, is because our goal is to help people. You and I have talked about ideas and things we could do to impact and help, and we've done some of that. And almost never has the discussion been, how do you make money at that? Now you have to support a business, but that's never been like the primary, hey, here's how we can make $10,000. No, it's always been, here's how we can help somebody else make $10,000, or here's how we can help them with this thing. It's been so cool to interact with you at that level. And we've done that. We've reached out to individuals and been able to do some cool things. And there's a lot more on the horizon.
I totally agree. Some great things, man. Dude, you're awesome.
Oh, likewise. You're amazing.
What can I do to help your audience? What can I do?
Well, let's open it up for some questions. If you guys have a question for Ken, again, we're here. I kind of got lost that we were live. I was just having a cool discussion with you like we always do.
I know, man. I know.
Episode 98.
What's that?
Episode 98 here with Ken Walls. If you have a question for the master connector, Ken, I think the internet's a little choppy today. I don't know what's going on.
Is it on my end?
I probably our end. I have no idea. So if you have a question for Ken, that's where I think you could provide for our audience, or if there's something that, Ken asked the question, is there something he could do for the audience? I think number one, you've already delivered some tremendous value. You've given them an opportunity to your course, which I'm telling you, there's a lot of people who sell crap on the internet. A lot of people. You and I have talked a lot about this. This guy knows what he's talking about, and he has real evidence to back up what he's done. So the course is just, I can't recommend it highly enough. And then if you have a question or a comment for Ken, well, I'm going to ask him one more question while we're doing that. Why don't you guys post a question if you have it for Ken? So what's in front of you that you're working on that is kind of a big goal that you're working on in front of you that you like, it's kind of a monster thing that you're trying to tackle?
Honestly, it's this course. And the funnels. I just spent 3 days in a mastermind with Jeffrey Gitomer at his house.
Wow.
And him and his wife are dear friends of mine. And if they don't know who Jeffrey Gitomer is, then he wrote this book right here, The Little Red Book of Selling. It's the #1 best-selling sales book ever on planet Earth. And I spent 3 days with him and a guy named Joe Soto. I don't know if you know who Joe Soto is.
Yep.
But Joe is an unbelievable dude. Like, this guy does Tai Lopez's marketing. Like, he is legit big time. Yeah. And went through, some things. And, I'm really good if you said, hey, dude, I got a course and I want to sell it, and can we get on? I'd be really good at driving people to your course, but I suck at driving people to my own course.
Isn't that amazing how that's so it's like the contractor whose home has all the repairs that need to be done. Hey, we got a question here. Let me ask you. So Terlyn from Colorado says, I am a creative. I paint people's dreams. How can I expand my reach?
Oh, I love that question. I know exactly what, is it a she? Is that Terlyn?
Yes.
I know exactly what you need to do. You need to set up, get a 4K Logitech camera, and you attach it to your computer, and that's going to cost you about $159. And then you start painting live on live stream.
I love this idea. I've heard a similar idea. I love this. Keep going.
Dude, here's the thing, man. First off, live streaming gets more eyeballs than any other social media post form that there is.
Yes.
You get more people viewing live streams that, in fact, live streaming is kicking the crap out of television networks. Like, TV networks are losing money hand over fist because of people live streaming. So, what everybody remember, what's that one dude's name that had the real soothing voice and he would paint? And
I know who you're talking about.
Bob something.
Yeah.
Like, everybody loves to watch artistic people at work.
Yes.
You need to learn how to live stream. If I were a painter, I would be live probably 10 hours a day. I'm not kidding.
Have you heard the story that Damon John told about the young guy that designed the shirts?
No.
So very almost identical to what you said is where I thought you got the thought from. So Damon John was at a hotel. I think he told this at 10X conference 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
And he said he's at a hotel and he's waiting for the valet to bring up his car, and he's standing next to a young kid, and they bring up this Porsche or something like this. And it's the kid's car. And he's like, I got to ask, what do you do? And he goes, I'm in the clothing business. And Daymond John's like, I'm in the clothing business. And he said,
Wow.
well, tell me what you do. And he said, he goes live and he does a design live, and he does it every Monday. And then he says, you can buy this design on a shirt, but only for the next 24 hours. And I'll never do this design ever again. So he creates urgency and demand.
Brilliant.
He also gets pre-orders, so it's different than Daymond John. Daymond John has to create the product, send it to the store. This kid gets the product, he gets the money, then he goes on Tuesday afternoon when the orders close off. He's already collected the money. He then goes, has them produced, and by Friday they're out, out in the mail. And he just rinse and repeat every single week.
That's brilliant.
And so, Terry Lane could you could do something similar and say, look, I'm going to paint this live.
Yep.
And for the next 48 hours only is this available. And it creates urgency and scarcity towards this product, because I can get it at no other time. Then you can go have it mass produced or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe it's a one-off. You just sell that one.
But I mean, here's the thing. Again, live streaming gives you the ability to show off your talents and skills, right?
Correct.
And here's the biggest thing that live streaming does as opposed to edited video. And every video editor in the world is going to hate me for saying this, but it's impossible to edit out a sneeze, a cough, a hiccup.
Yeah.
It just shows. Live streaming gives people that, wow, this dude is real, or this chick is real. Like, she's authentic, and I can feel her energy coming through the screen right now. Where an edited video, although it's cool and you can add explosions and bombs, and
right.
It's not the same, right? The authenticity is gone.
And that's what I think people feel from you when you do your Facebook Lives. All right, one last question. Tina in New York, who's my business partner there, she says, I'm growing the New York region of Master Networks. Any ideas how to use online to get local businesses into a local meeting?
Yes. Do you want to answer it?
Go. She hears from me all the time. She's like, she already knows where I'm going to go, but I think she's probably wanting to know your take on it.
I want to know where you would go with that question.
So I would also do the live. I would also do live at the chapter meetings and invite people to join so they can see a sneak peek into it.
Can I give you an even better idea?
That's why you're here, man.
I'm not saying I'm smarter than you, dude. I'm not.
You are, though.
So Tina, what I would do is I would set up, and she's in New York City.
No, she's just north of the city, White Plains area.
White Plains. Okay. So I would start a show. I would create a show, like my show is called Breakthrough Walls, right? I would start a show where you are interviewing local business owners on your show, just like this, except for I wouldn't use Zoom. But there is a way to do it that's really cool. I would start a show and I'd start reaching out to the local business owners that you want involved in your chapter. And I would say it like this: do not let them know that you're reaching out in hopes of them coming and joining you. Via osmosis, the power of, if I send a box of cigars, if Chaz likes cigars, and I send somebody hand delivering a box of cigars to Chaz, and he's like, holy crap, these are my favorite cigars, he's going to call me. Like, there's not like, it's not going to be like, thanks for the cigars, idiot, I'm not calling you. It's going to be like, I'm calling the dude, like, wow, thanks for the cigars, man, that's awesome. So if you start a show where you're interviewing people in the White Plains, and I'm talking about small businesses, the little flower shop, the chiropractor, the dentist, and you say, hey, I'm interviewing local small businesses on my show here locally, that's going out on Facebook Live and YouTube and blah, 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 blah. And it's to bring more attention to the small business community and bring more attention to you, Dr. Smith. Would like to have you on the show. Are you open to being a guest on the show and talking about your life story and your business and what got you into dentistry? If he says no, then he's an idiot and you don't want to be friends with him.
Right.
I'm sorry, but Like, I just
Good
think
advice,
that
man. You're right on it. Love it. Love it.
that's it. Like, you just got to bring, it's what Grant Cardone talks about, dude. Flow power to power.
Yes.
If you want to do business with someone or you want to be connected to someone, dude, do something for them.
Right. Add value. We talk about it like everyone knows, oh, I need to add value, but it's really finding the value. And Tina does such a great job. She's such a connector there and has built such good relationships. And with 200 plus members in that local area,
Wow.
she could put that show on and have a whole list of people every week to be on that show in no time. So,
and she could start with current members and just interviewing them. And what happens is, like, if I interview Chaz on my show and Chaz shares it out on his Facebook page and everywhere else, well, it's the way that it works. Like, you interview Dr. Smith, who's already a member of your group, he's going to share it out, and then all birds of a feather, right?
Yeah, I was just with Mike Forrest and Ashley, who were on here in Missouri, and we did a workshop there, and they shared some stuff live and pictures and all that. And someone saw it and went, look, I've been watching this Master Networks thing in Missouri for a year. I think it's just time to step up and get involved.
Yeah.
Right. Because they saw it for that long. So
that's how it works, man.
Man, we might be pushing the longest episode we've ever had. And I love it. Like, it went so fast. It went like this. In fact, Bob, thank you for the comment. Bob said, you two are great together.
Oh, Bob Donnell is amazing. Are you connected to him?
I am now. Apparently, Bob, we need to get connected.
You have to connect with Bob.
Bob, let's connect.
He's connected.
So it's funny. He says, you two are great together. I think we're great together, and we could be dangerous together. You know that, right?
Yeah. I think so. We could get in trouble.
Yes, we could get in a lot of trouble. We should end it here. Guys, what a great episode. Thanks for first of all, you gave such amazing advice. If you want to be at Connect, attend-connect.com, attend-connect.com. You'll get to hear from Ken. I have 3 keynotes I'm giving over the 3 days. I'm super excited for. Ken's going to be doing a breakout with some amazing speakers. So many amazing people in attendance. We're over 70% sold out. Get your ticket. Be there. $397, still discounted till the end of this month to be there. Man, you're amazing. I just so appreciate you.
Thanks,
all the
dude.
value you've brought to our team, to me, etc. So just love it. Guys, share this episode to your friends. Share it on your Master Networks pages across the country. Again, episode 98. Stay tuned. Got a couple exciting guests coming up in the next couple of episodes. When we hit episode 100, we have a very special guest. My wife will be.
Me? Oh.
Yeah. No, my wife's going to be on episode 100. She's so nervous and scared, but she's going to reveal all the deep, dark secrets of what it's like to live with a maniac like me. So it's going to be a fun episode. So
we're going to hear about you leaving the toilet seat down and all that.
Oh, you guys are going to hear all of the stuff that no one really cares to hear, but you're going to hear it all. So listen,
That's
Ken,
awesome.
Thanks for being on this episode. Again, every Monday, noon Central, except when there's a holiday like this week. But every Monday, noon Central, I bring you amazing people like Ken to be on this show, Connect, Share, Prosper. Again, until next time, be well, everyone, and we'll talk soon. Take care.
Are you ready to build your network at lightning speed? Well, mark your calendar for April 16th through the 18th and join us at Connect. You'll experience 3 days of growing, networking, and breaking through your limitations. Look, you'll never be the same. So go to attend-connect.com to learn more.